really, this is about reclaiming your joy, dropping that need for control, becoming more receptive and feminine in your relationship. And so, really, these tools are meant to receive more passion and affection and communication, and without the need of your husband to read or change anything. I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Hey, everyone. Welcome back for another episode. We are back, and this episode has been on my mind for quite some time now, actually. So, there are two books that I recommend again and again to clients, especially when I'm working with couples, that I think are really helpful in helping us just understand if I'm in the role of the wife or if I'm in the role of the feminine versus if I'm in the role of the husband or if I'm in the role of the masculine. These two books are generally my go-to for understanding those two different things. And the two books, I mean, like, not wait too long to tell you, but the two books are the Masculine in Relationship by G.S. Youngblood. This is the one that I usually recommend to my guys. And this is specifically if you are in a relationship with a woman. This is like a manual essentially to healthy masculinity. And I really love that one for, again, for the guys. And then for the girls, I love the book, The Empowered Wife by Laura Doyle. And let me just preface by saying, because when I recommend this book, people are like, but Rachel, you're a therapist. Don't you know that at the beginning of her book, she totally knocks and bashes therapy and couples therapy and basically like says that it's a crock of shit? Yes, I know that. And when I first listened to it too, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. But then when she goes into the detail and describes of like why she thinks therapy, couples therapy is like a crock of shit, I'm like, okay, that is not what my therapy sessions look like. And so rest assured, if you decide to work with me, let me toot my own horn. That is not the way in which I practice couples therapy. I really like to take more of that hands-on approach, really helping couples to develop actual skills and tools and better understand themselves when it comes to their relationship and their way of communicating, and really helping them get to that deeper rooted seed of like, why am I responding this way? Why am I reacting this way? And then again, yeah, practicing tools for developing deeper intimacy and connection and communication and all of that with them. So she refers to it as like, it's the problem of the week, right? It's the flavor of the week. And yeah, sometimes therapy can certainly feel like that. And so that would be a good time if you're experiencing this, like, check in with your therapist and say, hey, can we revisit my treatment plan? Can we see like where we're at in terms of goals? Like, what are we working on here? Because it is really easy to be like, well, this last week, I had this come up and I need to work through it. Some of therapy is going to be that, of course, but anyways, let me not get on my tangent around that. But yes, I'm aware that she talks about this in her book. She does. This is why I like the book too. I feel like she really takes more of this like healthier, direct approach to. She talks about these 6 different intimacy skills. And this is really, so this book is it's the Empowered Wife, 6 surprising secrets for attracting your husband's time, attention, and affection. So I recommend this book. So this is for the woman that is like, you want your spouse to be more ambitious. You want your spouse to help out around more around the house. You want your spouse to get in the gym or take his health more seriously. Or if you are hearing from your spouse, like, quit nagging on me, quit mothering me, quit telling me what to do all the time. Like, I got me, right? Like, this would be the book for you to help you actually shift out of that mothering, because your partner has a mother, right? They have a mother that was not you specifically. And so let's not take on that mothering role. And it can be really hard to do, right? Because part of our womanhood, part of our femininity is nurturing. But there's a different way of providing that nurturing. I was going to say nurturingness. We're just going to go with that nurturingness to our spouses that don't come off like motherly necessarily. And so, really, the overview of this book is that we have more power than we think to transform our marriage by actually focusing on our own happiness, relinquishing that control, and embracing more femininity and vulnerability. And so, the book is again built around these 6 different intimacy skills, which she claims are the foundation of empowered, loving relationships. And again, very like direct but encouraging, and draws a lot from her own personal experiences. She also shares a lot of examples from clients and testimonials from other people that she's worked with and other women that she's worked with, which I found that was really helpful. So I have a earlier podcast that I've done that is called, oh, what did I name it? I think it was What Women Want in Relationships. And this is generally the podcast that I give to the guys. And I do a little breakdown of there from the book that I talked about earlier, The Masculine Relationship. I do a breakdown of that book of basically some components of healthy masculinity. And that is getting us away from the toxic masculinity, right? So that would be, if you're a dude listening to this, I would recommend that one. Also, I have many women that listen to this podcast, or also read the book, The Masculine and the Relationship. Because, right, even as a woman, we still hold some of that masculine energy as well. We're not always 100% in our feminine. And in fact, most of the women, like I said, like, if this is you, this book is going to be for you. You probably are a woman that is taking on more of that masculine role in your relationship. So, drawing from these 6 different intimacy skills might be something to try out in your relationship, and also wanting to honor they might not be, super accessible, or some of these you're going to be like, oh yeah, duh, like I'm doing that already. But maybe asking yourself, like, could I be doing that better? And then again, honoring that these are skills that you are going to develop. These isn't like you're going to listen to this podcast and voila, you're going to be doing all 6 of these things with no problem. And I tell people this, like, you are a work in progress. It's going to take time to develop these things. So have some tenderness with yourself, have some compassion with yourself going into this. And if you have questions, reach out to me. If you want to listen to this book in full, I recommend, but this is going to just be a breakdown, shorter version. I love recording things like this in podcasts. I love listening to things like this in podcasts as well. Instead of, sometimes I don't have time to read the entire book. And so I like to just search podcasts around, like, give me the main points here. Right. And so in this case, it's these 6 different skills. All right. So let's jump into them. So your 6 skills are: number 1 is self-care. Number 2 is relinquishing control. 3 is respect. 4 is vulnerability / receiving graciously. 5 is gratitude and acknowledgement. And then 6 is the surrendering the urge to improve him. Okay. And, a lot of these key themes in this book also is that marriage is a mirror, right? Oftentimes our relationships help reflect our inner state. And when you can really change your approach to this and see, like, okay, my partner is mirroring back to me, like my partner is getting, reacting in this way. What is it bringing up for me? That can, again, really change things for you. And if you can get curious and compassionate with yourself, of like, why, right? Like, I tell my clients, like, you're a little FBI agent, right? Going on a hunt, you're gathering information, you're seeing what's there. And again, with that caution and with that compassion for yourself. She talks a lot about masculine versus feminine energy, which I know not everybody is into the whole masculine feminine energy. Personally, I love to talk about this. It's something that I bring up a lot in my practice with clients. But she leans more into the idea of traditional gender energy dynamics. Men thrive when they feel respected and needed, and women thrive when they feel cherished and supported. And I think that goes true, right? Whether you're taking on those traditional gender roles, or if you're someone that is in the more woo-woo space of masculine, feminine energy. And then apologizing for disrespect. Simple but powerful tool, right? Like saying, like, I'm sorry for being disrespectful when I said blah, 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 right? Like, taking ownership for our things is going to be so important, right? In any relationship, you have to get comfortable with the idea that you're not always going to be right, and that you're going to make mistakes. And on the other end of that, having compassion for your partner, that they're not always going to be perfect, and that they're going to make mistakes. So, and then last of these other, like, major theme here is expressing desires without demands. So really encouraging women to share desires in a more softer way. Like, I would love to have a clean kitchen instead of you never clean up after yourself. You never help me with the chores, right? In my communication guide, which is actually a free download on my website, rachelmaine.com. You can download my communication guide there. And this is one of the points on the communication guide is really reframing from using those words always or never, because somebody is not always doing something every single time and somebody is not never doing something at 100% of the time. So it's just unfair. So I like how she rephrases these things like, I would love to have a clean kitchen. I would love to be able to spend more time with you. I would enjoy spending more time with you. I would enjoy if we went out more. And so again, you're expressing your desires without that demand behind it. Okay. Let's get into these 6 intimacy skills. So going back to number 1, so self-care. Self-care is really, it's about prioritizing your own happiness and fulfillment. So this isn't meant to be selfish, right? I get this pushback a lot, like self-care is selfish. I'm putting myself first. It's like, yeah, put your damn self first. So much of the like literature out there is moving towards this direction because you've heard the phrase before, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if I am worrying about filling up everybody else's cup and I'm not filling up my own cup or taking the time to do that, you can't pour from an empty cup. And the idea of self-care is I am pouring so much into myself and filling up my own cup that it is then overflowing and then spreading to those around me. So self-care by all means is not selfish. It is a way in which that we replenish our emotional reserve. So focusing on what are those things that are creating happiness and what are those things that are helping you feel fulfilled. And so this includes doing at least 3 things every single day that bring you joy. So for some people, it might be your morning coffee ritual, like having that time, that peace, like everybody else is asleep still, the house is quiet, right? Pets are still sleeping, kids are still sleeping, whatever that looks like, and you just have your Zen coffee ritual time. For some people, this could be standing outside on your deck, standing outside on the front porch, getting that sunshine like raining down on you. That could be your moment of joy. What else? Moment of joy, going for a walk outside. I'm trying to think of like what do I do? My walks outside bring me joy. My cuddling with my dogs bring me joy. Sharing statements of gratitude bring me joy. So again, doing at least 3 things here that every single day that bring you joy. And the idea around this is that a well cared for woman is more attractive, more relaxed, and less likely to be reactive in her relationship. So again, that self-care, if you got your Zen, like good vibes going on, you're going to be less reactive in relationships. And I'm gonna go and say like overall in interactions with other humans. Hey everyone. Are you tired of tossing and turning at night, struggling to find the perfect comfort for a good night's sleep? Well, I've got quite a treat for you today. Introducing Cozy Earth Bedding. Cozy Earth products are designed to transform your 5 to 9, that time that matters the most, into the coziest sanctuary. Their goal is to help you create a sanctuary within your home, a refuge from the demands of the outside world. They understand the significance of finding comfort and tranquility in the midst of our hectic lives. Your 5 to 9 should consist of the relaxation and rejuvenation, unwinding, and embrace a sense of calm. With Cozy Earth, you can transform your space into an elevated haven where serenity and renewal intertwine effortlessly. Let me highlight a few of their qualities. First, temperature regulation. Cozy Earth sheets are so breathable, you'll sleep several degrees cooler. I kid you not, this has been so fascinating for us. Enhanced fabric. Durable weave fabric that won't pill, guaranteed for 10 years. And I can attest to this because we have already had to wash our sheets a couple times, and so far they have still stayed 100% intact. Superior softness. I cannot stress this one enough. The ultimate ingredient for a luxurious sleep is softness. Cozy Earth uses only the best fabrics and textiles to enhance that. And I'm not kidding you. Every time I pull my sheet up, I say to Danny, oh my gosh, these sheets are so soft. I just love these so much. And responsible production. They pride themselves on the responsible production of all of their products. And lastly, get this. Durability and commitment to quality. Cozy Earth bedding products have a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. That is how much they believe in their products. As I said, I've had the pleasure of sleeping on their products, their bamboo sheet set for the last few weeks, and both Danny and I are amazed at what a difference this has made in our comfort and our quality of sleep. Already, I've been peeking on the website, like, what else can we get to add to our luxurious life? With Cozy Earth's bamboo sheet set, luxury starts where you rest. Your bedroom should be more than just a place to sleep, it should be a retreat. And Cozy Earth's best selling bamboo sheets are buttery soft, temperature regulating, and crafted for 5-star comfort every night. They also have their Luxe bath sheets. Wrap yourself in everyday indulgence. Cozy Earth's Luxe bath sheets bring spa like softness into your home. They are oversized, like these bath sheets are huge, ultra absorbent, and so soft. Whether you're looking for sheets, duvet covers, or even loungewear, Cozy Earth has got you covered. Plus, with their eco friendly practices, you can feel great about your choice to invest in quality and sustainability. Luxury shouldn't be out of reach. So why wait? Treat yourself to luxury you deserve. Head over to cozyearth.com and use my promo code RachelM, that's Rachel M as in Maine, for an exclusive 40% off their best-selling sheets, towels, pajamas, and more. And if you happen to get a post purchase survey, let them know that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Sanctuary awaits at Cozy Earth. All right, so then the second part was relinquishing control. And so she, again, I kind of alluded this at this beginning, but in her book, she also argues that many women try to control their husbands, sometimes consciously, but often also unconsciously, and that this control truly kills intimacy. So letting go of control, especially over things that aren't yours to manage, allows men to step up and feel respected. So this includes not micromanaging how he gets things done or insisting that your way is the best way. For instance, there is 100 different ways that you can load a dishwasher. There's a million different ways that you can fold a towel and put away laundry, right? Like, so not micromanaging those things, letting each other, right, like have that autonomy and make those decisions around they're going to do it their way. That doesn't necessarily mean there's a wrong way or a right way. And then rolling into number three being respect. Respect is crucial for men. It is like oxygen to them. And she states this in her book. So this doesn't mean that we need to agree with men on everything that they're saying. This definitely does not mean to tolerate bad behavior, but rather choosing respectful communication. And when we are talking with our partners who are men, not using sarcasm, criticism, or again, like that mothering sort of behavior, right? Like not talking down to them in a sense. And so really asking yourself, right, like, is what I'm saying, what I'm about to say respectful towards them? And I also like the phrase, is what I'm about to say helpful or hurtful? And really checking in with that hurtfulness, like, is this going to make them feel small? Or is it designed to make them feel small? Is that my intention? Am I putting them down? Right? Like how we want our partners to lift us up and help us feel big, and seen and heard and validated and all of that. Like we need to be doing the same for our partners. So respect, again, crucial part of this. Okay, so then the vulnerability and receiving graciously. A lot of women struggle to receive help, to receive gifts, or receive compliments without deflecting or downplaying. So, really working towards graciously receiving, right? This is powerful and it opens up the door for that deeper connection and trust. And a lot. So, if your person is complimenting you or brings you a gift, like a simple thank you. Thank you. Oh, I love your nails. Oh, thank you. Not, oh my gosh, I need to get them filled. Right. Or, oh my God, I love your outfit. Oh my gosh. Oh, this shirt, I've had it for 5 years. I totally need a new one. Right. Receiving, allow yourself to receive and get comfortable in that receiving. And then vulnerability, right? The other part of this vulnerability means admitting needs and feelings in a soft, open way rather than demanding or accusing. So, using that I feel I need language, I'm feeling unseen, I'm feeling uneasy. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling disconnected from you. I need time with you. I need a conversation with you. I need to go on a walk with you. I need to feel validated by you, right? What is it that you need? What is it that you feel? What is it that you need? All right. And then number five, gratitude and acknowledgement, expressing specific expressing specific gratitude for what your partner does rather than focusing on what he doesn't creates positive momentum. So if you are in your relationship right now and you are constantly focusing on everything that he is not doing, or everything that he didn't do, or all the things that are going bad in the relationship, this is not creating any sort of positive momentum. And if you're listening to this podcast, that's what you're wanting. You're wanting more from your partner. You're wanting more from your relationship. You're wanting to feel more connected. So shaming somebody into doing something, like nagging somebody into doing something, putting somebody down in order to get them to do something, is not the healthy approach to take to this, right? I'm not going to beat you down and make you small in attempt to actually lift you up. That does not work, right? That actually falls into the category of emotional abuse in some cases, depending in the context. So really, really, she emphasizes the phrase, I appreciate ... and encourages frequent use of this. So what is it? Take a look in your day today, if you're listening to this podcast, and what is it that you can pull out about your partner, something they did, something about their mannerisms, something about their personality, something about the way that they're speaking, your conversation today. What is it that you can pull out that you appreciate about them? And if this is hard for you, I'm going to challenge you to really dig deep here, and find something, right? Like, and if you can't, this would be, I would say, a time where you could reach out for third party support, either through a therapist, a counselor, a coach, or something like that to help you navigate through this. And again, so really coming back to that, I appreciate and expressing that gratitude. And then, yeah, so focusing what's working helps shift that emotional climate in the relationship. That helps to instill more connection, more love, more intimacy, right, with each other, more gratitude, essentially. And gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states that a person can be in. It's impossible to be upset if you're in a place of gratitude. All right. And that leads us to number six, which is surrendering the urge to improve him. I know this one's going to be hard. And this is one of the most challenging but transformative skills. And so the belief is that trying to improve your partner, even with good intentions, makes him feel like he's inadequate and disrespected. Instead, she encourages focusing on your own growth and trusting your husband's journey and leading by example. So in the book, she gives the example of a person that she was working with pretty much finds her husband lazy. Every day she come home from work, he's sitting on the couch, didn't do anything, right? And he complains about his weight all the time. He's eating junk food all the time, not taking care of his body. And so he's in this really like woe is me state, feeling sorry for himself. And so she'd be like, well, go to the gym. Why aren't you going to the gym? And essentially taking this more nagging approach. So instead, after listening to this book, so the author says, after listening to the book, this woman started to take this approach of surrendering to that urge of wanting to improve him. And she started to focus on her own growth. So what she wanted from her husband essentially was to take his health more seriously, get into the gym more, right? Become more active. And so she herself started to take on some of those qualities. And that is the thing about human tendency, is that we are inspired as humans, whether that be conscious or subconscious. We are, as humans, have the ability to be inspired through action. So for instance, I think this was talked about either in her book or another book that I've listened to recently. Sometimes they all flow together. But the example was given is that if I'm a person, right, I eat lunch at my desk every time, but I see these two girls that are in the cubicles next to me, and every single day on their lunch, they get up and they go for a walk and they eat lunch outside. Over time, I still keep eating at my lunch at my desk, still keep doing that. But then I start to see like they're coming back and they're like happy the rest of their day. They're joyful. They're not feeling sluggish at the end of their day. And so over time, I'm going to eventually start to take on those things. I'm going to eventually feel inspired and say, you know what? I'm going to start going for a walk. I'm going to start doing this. This is why influencers on Instagram can make such good money with what they're doing, because we as humans are easily influenced. So again, taking on this approach to where you are focusing on your own growth, because you cannot control him. You cannot make him do something. You cannot make him feel something. And really, change is more long lasting when somebody takes that approach from within, not because they're told to do something, right? Like somebody that quits smoking because they want their partner, because their partner wants them to quit smoking, probably not going to last as long as versus if they themselves made that decision to quit smoking, right? So, yeah, again, like this book, I really enjoyed. If you want to listen to the full book, again, this was a very, very short recap, just focusing on those intimacy points. But really, this is about reclaiming your joy, dropping that need for control, becoming more receptive and feminine in your relationship. And so, really, these tools are meant to receive more passion and affection and communication, and without the need of your husband to read or change anything. So it can be a polarizing book for so many, because I think for us women, like we've been taking these more control-based approaches for quite some time. And so really just thinking through that. So a couple quotes that I wanted to share from this too, from this book, is that when you change, your relationship changes. And I fully believe that. Again, you cannot change somebody. You just can't. You can't change that. So if you focus on only what you're doing, that in turn is going to change the relationship. You can't control anyone else, but you can influence them with your joy. Another quote from the book. And then last quote from this book: your husband doesn't want to be improved. He wants to be accepted. So really meeting him where he's at is going to be a crucial part of this process. So I hope this was helpful. I wanted to make this short and sweet. Also, I have a client that is going to be on in my waiting room in 10 minutes, so I gotta wrap this up. But again, the book was called The Empowered Wife, and it's by Laura Doyle if you want to check it out. The other book was The Masculine in Relationship by G.S. Youngblood. Both great books. You can find them on Audibles. I'm an Audible junkie, so I like the Audible versions, but sometimes when I listen to a book, then I get the hard copy because I want to go back and highlight it or pull from it again and again and again. So the choice is yours. But if you're someone that you know is a slower reader like myself, I know if I have a physical copy of something, it's going to take me a hell of a long time to get through it. So sometimes if I want the information quick, I'm going to get the audio version, or I'm going to listen to a podcast about it. So if that helps anybody along the way, take it or leave it. It's up to you. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that this is going to be a good resource for women moving forward. And just really, again, if you focus on your own change, that is going to change your relationship. And sometimes this is part of the work, right? Sometimes when you are making these changes, you are making the changes to better yourself. You're focusing on yourself. You're letting go of that control. It is possible that you might realize that the relationship that you're in is not the relationship for you. And that is okay. If you are met with a partner that isn't willing to do the work, that isn't wanting to do the emotional processing, that isn't wanting to do the intimacy work, and you are somebody that is a need for you, again, this would be a time where I would maybe seek out a counselor or a therapist or a coach, somebody to help you navigate that, either individually or as a couple. So that is it for today, folks. Thank you so much for listening. I'm really trying to do one solo podcast a week. I have a lot of guests that come on the show and that want to be on the show. And so sometimes it's nice to just be able to get on here and spew off what I'm working on and what I've got going on in my life, or what I'm feeling inspired to talk about. And so today was one of those days. And again, trying to do this once a month for you guys. Podcasts will continue to come out every Monday. So tune in, subscribe. And if there is a topic that you want to be recorded on or talked about on this show, please email it, Instagram me, whatever you want. And I'm happy to add it to the list, do my research on it, and produce it for you. So thanks so much, guys. I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at the Rachel Main. I'll see you next week.